Oh, have mercy. Your brother from the gutter, the slick one, back behind the wood for the open bar. Yeah. On a Victory Wednesday. The Bills open up a can of whoop ass on the Steelers the other day. As a matter of fact, it was the most rushing yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers in their own home stadium. The Bills had 250 yards on the ground, the most they've given up at home since the Juice tap danced on their Iron Curtain skulls back in 75. The Bills had 310 yards on the ground that day back in 75. OJ had 227 of those yards. And we all know that O'Day would edit it. O'Day was framed. And of course, Josh broke Cam Newton's record for most rushing touchdowns by an NFL quarterback with 76. And he is 25th all time in touchdowns at this point in his career. And he's not even 30 yet. And up next, it's Burrow and the Bengals. And then the Pats in New England. That's going to be, wow. I just hope they don't look past the Bengals. They need these AFC wins because of, these AFC losses that we've had have really hurt us. Losing to Miami, losing to the Patriots, losing to Houston. If we're going to get a wild card spot, and it looks like that's the best shot we've got with the Patriots, 2 games up on us, something like that. And they have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. So unless something miraculous happens, like the Patriots all of a sudden take a nosedive and we go on a streak, it looks like, wild card is the way that's the route we're going to have to go. And Joey Bosa, I mean, how about that play where he knocked Aaron Rodgers' dick in the dirt? It was like the longest yard. I'm like, I think he broke his fucking nose. So now Bosa has got a hamstring injury, and I told you I was worried about him playing too much because of all the injuries we've had, although we've got Shaq Lawson now. He is back. And also Brandon Cook, who I'm actually happy about. I mean, he has got some awesome career numbers, which I won't go into, and he's still got some speed. So I think they threw him one pass the other day at the beginning of the game, and hopefully they can use him as more of a weapon as he gets used to the playbook and, get some chemistry with Josh Allen. Now, he's been around 6 different teams, and he has been in this situation before where he's had to come in and, learn things on the quick. And he is a 12-year veteran, so he's pretty wily, pretty smart, so he should pick things up pretty fast. So hopefully he helps us out here. But, we are so banged up. I don't know how we can pull this off or how far we're going to go, but let's just get there. Let's just get there and see what happens. And Luigi Mangione, who shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare, his pretrial hearing has started, and the court will hear testify from a prison guard who said Mangione voluntarily told him he had a 3D printed gun in his backpack after his arrest. Probably not a smart thing to tell a CEO while you're in prison. Now, listen, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I understand. Fun fact, by the way, CEO pay in the 1960s was 20-1. Worker to CEO pay. CEOs 20-1 over workers in the 60s. And currently, in today's world, CEO pay 300 to 1 over employees. From 20-1 to 300-1. And people wonder why these kind of things happen and why people are pissed off and think that the system is rigged, because it is rigged. And people like Donald Trump are the reason why. He's right, it's rigged. and he's one of the people that rigs it. What is he going to do about it? You don't see him talking about supporting unions or raising the minimum wage. Or did you ever hear Donald Trump say, hey, man, this CEO pay is really out of control, man. I mean, it's really way off. We got to do something about that. No. Of course, he's in bed with all the fat cats, the crypto bros, the tech bros from California, from the Silicon Valley, and that's who he rolls with. And how about all these criminals? These white-collar criminals that Trump is pardoning. I think Trump sees like white-collar criminals. He doesn't think they're real criminals. Like if you defraud people out of their life savings, that's okay. But if you protest or riot, then wow, you got to be thrown in jail. You know what I mean? For life, probably. And speaking of lameness, can you believe Trump's wag the dog bullshit narco war, so-called narco war on Venezuela that's going on, where they're blowing up boats out there in the ocean without giving the public any proof that there are drugs on these boats. I mean, we have a Coast Guard that does this. Why are we blowing up boats? Obviously, I think it's all to take attention off the whole Epstein thing, which is another story. The fact that this is illegal, first of all, and the fact that party boy dipshit Pete Hegseth gave orders to kill everybody with a second strike was a war crime, according to all experts. There were a couple of guys clinging to some pieces of the boat that were out there, and they went back and offed them. They went back and hit them again. So they were not a threat, obviously, at that point. So that's, we have laws like after Vietnam, where they had the massacre. What was that? The Lehigh, the Lee, whatever the fuck it was, massacre, where they went in and killed everybody. You just can't do that. I mean, it's illegal. And now they're trying to throw this admiral under the bus, Hegseth, saying, we're backing our admiral and all the actions that he takes and all the things that he did when it was Hegseth that gave the order. So you got Hegseth trying to throw this admiral under the bus, who went back for the second strike because he was told to kill everybody on the boat. And, I wonder why we have to tell people not to do illegal things. I wonder why the politicians, the Democrats, came out and made that public service announcement because of shit like this. And also because there are reports, there have been many people in the military in command positions where they have sought outside counsel because of some of the things that they're being asked to do, which are illegal. And it is part of your oath. You take an oath of the Constitution, and part of it is to not follow any illegal orders. I believe what's going to happen in the end here is that, Hegseth is throwing the admiral under the bus, and I think what will happen eventually is that Trump will throw Hegseth under the bus. Because, Trump, he's not loyal to anybody. He'll throw anybody under the bus. If the heat gets too hot on this, I think that's what will happen. Now, of course, the Democrats will take over when they win the House, which they will do, and they will have subpoena power. So, boy, they're going to have a lot of cool things. They're going to have a whole smorgasbord of things to pick from on what they can go after Trump for and his insane, lawless administration for all the shit that they've pulled, including these illegal strikes. You know what's ironic about this is that Trump says that this is a war against these are terrorists, and it's that's the excuse he's using, that they're a terrorist group and it's a war against narco terrorists. However, riddle me this, Batman. Why did Trump, the Orange Mussolini, just pardon former Honduras President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was sentenced last year to 45 years in prison for his role in moving tons of coke in the USA? A U.S. court also found that Hernandez took $1 million bribe from, guess who? El Chapo. Right. But this is a guy, but Trump pardons this guy and says, oh, yeah, he was framed. So don't tell me that Trump gives a shit about he's doing this to stop a blow coming into the United States. He doesn't give a fuck about that. This is wag the dog shit. That's what this is. This is totally wag the dog. And let's take a look at some of Trump's other disgusting pardons that he has pulled over the last few weeks. And really, since he took office.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And then last week, it was David Gentile who, get this, defrauded $1.6 billion from about 10,000 everyday regular Americans with investment fraud. Now, these aren't billionaires. These are everyday people that this guy ripped off. Trump pardoned him as well. And then last month, it was Zaheo, who was a Chinese-born lowlife who our own Justice Department said did major harm to U.S. national security. It turns out his company, Zaheo, this Chinese guy, he pleaded guilty to money laundering. His companies have partnered with firms linked to Trump's crypto companies, which he's making a killing off since he's been president. You want to talk about illegal shit. But hey, don't participate in a riot or a protest or we'll throw your ass in jail or say anything bad about the president, because we'll take you off the air or throw you in jail. We'll court-martial you like they have threatened Mark Kelly. It's just them trying to intimidate everybody. I mean, this guy has flown on like 39 combat missions. He's an astronaut. And Pete Hegseth is a piece of shit fucking National Guard party boy who is so unqualified for the job. It's a total joke. And Trump will, I think, in the end, throw him under the bus. But, I forgot one other one. The White House intervened on behalf of accused sex trafficker Andrew Tate during a federal investigation. Did you hear about this? Federal authorities were chided for seizing electronic devices. They took the cell phone from Tate and his brother. And then they were told, the White House called and told them to return their cell phones to them. Experts say the intervention was highly inappropriate. Now, Andrew Tate, if you don't know, is a self-described misogynist who has millions of stupid young guys that listen to him. He was facing allegations of sex trafficking women in 3 countries when he and his brother left their home in Romania to visit the United States. The Tates will be free. Trump is the president. The good old days are back, Tate posted on X. One of the many times he sung the president's praises to his fans, and that's really all you got to do. Listen, you could be a fucking serial murderer, and as long as you're a Trump fan, you're going to get off. And, there is there's a way that the pardons are done. They're vetted. You're supposed to vet these people. Trump doesn't even do that. It's just all political favors. These are all people connected to him. Yeah, now, once in a while, somebody will do something, 1 or 2. This guy's like every day. He's letting off somebody that's connected to him. Like he let off Steve Bannon last time. Bannon was collecting money for the wall, to build the wall. And guess what? They weren't using it to build the wall. They were living it up off of these stupid donors. And, I'll say this. Religious people, God love them, but, I mean, they're some of the easiest people to con. And that's where Trump cons these people, and they believe him. This is like the little old lady sending money to these televangelists who she can barely has enough food to make it through the month, but she's sending money to these assholes on TV. That's what this is. These people are just the worst, and Trump is letting all these scumbags off who have ripped off numerous people, Americans, hardworking Americans, even sex offenders. Well, of course, it takes one to know one, I guess.
You're a little pervert.
So let's look at some of these January 6th jokers that Trump has pardoned. Of course, he pardoned them all. When he ran for president, the word was he was just going to, the people that didn't do anything violent, he was going to, maybe pardon them. Well, he pardoned everybody. Yeah, even the violent ones. Like Andrew Tack. Tack was pardoned after participating in the January 6th Capitol attack in which he assaulted officers with pepper spray and a metal whip. He was subsequently arrested on an outstanding Texas charge for online solicitation of a minor. Edward Kelly, here's another winner. To catch a predator. Edward Kelly, before being pardoned for his role on January 6th, the former U.S. Marine was convicted in a separate case in November of 2024 of conspiracy to murder FBI agents who had investigated him over the Capitol attack. A judge ruled his pardon did not cover those charges, and he was sentenced to life in prison in July. These are the people Trump pardoned. Emily Hernandez participated January 6th, was photographed holding then White House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's broken nameplate. After being pardoned, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a fatal DUI crash from January 2022. Just the best and the brightest. These people, let me tell you, these folks are real patriots. This was a real love fest. Don't you know? Then we've got some jamoke named Daniel Ball, who was alleged to have thrown an explosive device at officers on January 6th and was later charged with illegally possessing a gun as a felon. After his pardon, the separate federal gun case was dismissed by the U.S. Attorney's Office in February, of course. Trump, his Attorney General, his Justice Department, boy, they're just the best. They're really tough on crime. The January 6th, David Daniel, another ass clown from January 6th, was indicted in October for possession of child pornography and sexual assault of a minor. Beautiful people, real patriots. Shane Jason Woods, in April 2025, the pardoned January 6th participant was convicted of aggravated DUI and reckless homicide in a wrong-way crash, but acquitted in an earlier murder charge. In August, Woods was sentenced to 17 years prison for that crime. So, just unbelievable. Theodore Middendorf, January 6th participant Middendorf, is currently in prison serving a 19-year sentence for sexual assault of a 7-year-old after pleading guilty to that crime in May 2024. Taylor Taranto, January 6th participant. Taranto was arrested in 2023 for illegal gun possession and making bomb threats near the National Institute of Standards and Technology and near former President Barack Obama's residence. He was convicted in May. In October, it was revealed that the Department of Justice removed references to Trump and the Capitol riot in court documents related to his sentencing. Then we've got Brent John Holdridge. On May 11th, the January 6th participant was arrested in California for burglary, grand theft, possession of stolen industrial copper wire. Copper thieves. These are the lowlifes that attack the Capitol. These are the people, all these people Trump had pardoned have since gotten in trouble. Zachary Allum, after his January 6th pardon, Allum was arrested in May for home invasion and theft. He was convicted on those charges in October. Andrew Paul Johnson, a pardoned January 6th participant, was arrested in Florida earlier in November, having been extradited from Tennessee on multiple child sexual abuse related charges: lewd and lascivious molestation of a child under 12, molestation of a child aged 12 to 16, lewd and lascivious exhibition, and transmission of harmful material to a minor. So, and that's just a few of the pardons that Trump has given out to these wonderful, great Americans. Just unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. It's Trump. He is just a lowlife puss bag.
He has a lot of courage to face down Satan.
I'll tell you the other thing that really burns my ass about Trump is, he's got Mohammed bin Salman rolling the red carpet out for this fucking clown, who, of course, ordered the murder, according to our own intelligence agencies, ordered the murder of Washington Post columnist Khashoggi. I forgot his first name. Married to an American woman. He was an American citizen. He was here legally. And Trump says, well, hey, things happen. And let's not forget that the Saudis, by the way, 18 of the 21 hijackers on September 11th were of Saudi descent. And, of course, let's not forget that the Saudis helped fund al-Qaeda. Bin Laden himself was from a rich Saudi family. So these are the people that Trump is sucking up to. And the reason why they love Trump, because he's easy. You just pay him off. You just give him the money. Write him a check. And he rolls the red carpet out for these fucking people. He rolled the red carpet out for Putin, who's making a clown out of him over this Ukraine thing. They want Ukraine to give up land and to never join NATO and give up, do all, give up everything. And that's the Trump plan, right? Just give Russia everything they fucking want and fuck Ukraine. Most presidents, when they come in, the first thing they do is they go visit our allies. They go visit Europe, right? Not Trump. He takes the Middle Eastern tour where he's making deals. His kids are making deals to build hotels and everything else. They're getting donations for his crypto. He's getting a $400 million plane, which is ridiculous, which from Qatar. So Qatar, over the years, you should know, has funded extremist groups like Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda affiliates, the Taliban, and ISIS, right? These are Trump's buddies that are giving him the plane. So he doesn't give a fuck about America. He doesn't give a fuck about the law. All he gives a fuck about is Donald Trump making Donald Trump rich. And that's it. He will sell us out to anybody. And I feel sorry for the people that can't see that because they've got their head fucking buried in the sand. They're watching Fox News. They're listening to their conservative talk shows or podcasts or whatever the fuck they listen to where they don't report any of this stuff. All right? And these are all facts that I am speaking here. So, whatever. This is what people voted for. Because they wanted the price of eggs to come down. The price of eggs was too high. Yeah, this is the jamoke that was going to bring prices down on day one, right? And he's still blaming Biden. And Trump, what he's doing now is making it worse with these ridiculous tariffs where one day, hey, you give him a compliment and he takes the tariff off you. You make him mad, he puts a tariff on you. One day it's on, the next day it's off, the next day it's on, the next day it's off. How the fuck as a business can you plan to do anything when you don't know what the fuck, what's going to happen next week, what he's going to do next week? It's crazy. It's insane. And all the damage we've done to our allies, people that we depend on for intel, our trade partners like Canada, our biggest trade partners, Mexico, Canada, these people he's alienated. And even if we do get our shit back together and we get rid of Trump, other countries are going to be saying, look, how do we know we can trust you? How do we know you're not going to elect somebody like Trump again, who's going to, kowtow to Russia and to these people that are dictators and scumbags and human rights abusers? I mean, we stand for nothing now. We used to stand for something. We don't stand for shit under this guy. What we stand for is making Donald Trump rich. That's what we stand for. And investigating all of Donald Trump's enemies, whether they did anything wrong or not. We're going to just investigate. We're going to use the Justice Department like my own personal revenge machine, which, of course, a couple of these cases were thrown out already. Why? Because there's nobody in the Justice Department that wants to take these cases. So he puts that bimbo in charge of the, the Comey case. And she's not even a fucking, she wasn't even officially appointed to that position. She was a real estate lawyer, some bimbo friend of his. Because nobody else would take the case because they said there's not enough here to do anything. You want us to make something out of nothing. Just complete lawlessness. The guy is out of control. I don't see how we go another 3 years with this fucking asshole in charge. And I'm getting that's all I got about Trump right now. I got to get off the Trump train. My blood pressure's getting up.
Is it my imagination, or is he more commanding and mannish?
And how about Snoop Dogg? I'm just reading here. Snoop Dogg has lost over 500,000 followers after he performed at Trump's crypto ball. That's right. Fans are not happy with Snoop Dogg after he performed at President Trump's crypto ball. So, listen, all I got to say about that dog is if you lay down with the dog, you're going to get fleas. No pun intended. And finally, in Russia, doctors at a hospital there in Moscow were astounded when a 65-year-old man presented them with a tumor the size of his head growing from the back of his neck. The surgeons were able to remove the tumor and identified it as a benign lymphoma, which is a fatty lump that grows between the skin and the muscle. The patient told doctors he had been living with the lump for 16 years and had tried treating it with simple ointments without any success. Yeah, I guess evidently not. I mean, you go 16 years with a lump the size of a head growing out of your back, and you're using fucking ointment like that was going to work, right? And finally, the teen rebellion over disappearing AI chatbots has officially begun. After months of warning, the popular chatbot platform character AI has started cutting off access for users under the age of 18. And the Wall Street Journal says teens have been taking it not well. Posts of grief and frustration are popping up across Reddit, where one teen wrote, "I cried over it for days." Really? This is scary because I watched an interview with Bernie Sanders, and he had the father of AI on. And he was talking about a experiment that they did with people where they used an AI chatbot for a couple of weeks. And then they said, okay, the experiment's over. Who wants to say goodbye to their chatbot? You can say goodbye or you don't have to. It's just the experiment's over. Every single person wanted to say goodbye to their chatbot. So here's the deal. Here's what he said. He said, look, humans have been around for, thousands of years. We know how to have relationships with each other, right? We know what makes each other tick for the most part. But AI, with these machines, we don't know how to have a relationship with them. That's the whole part of this that's scary, unknown, and new, is that people get, like you heard that kid say, grief. They get connected to these AI chatbots like they're humans. So, yeah, I know they're going to take all our jobs. I mean, I'm still waiting for the first AI classic rock station. I'm sure Cumulus will be at the head of that one, no doubt. But it's great. You don't have to pay anybody. $20 a day to use AI. So you can't beat that. That beats hiring a human. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to tax these fuckers, these AI companies. I mean, they got all this data from us. They didn't pay us anything. They got all this data from us. They've collected without our approval for all these years, without our permission, and now they're going to take all our jobs away. Working, they said, will become an option. It'll become like, you don't really have to work unless you want to. So I guess the government's just going to sit around and pay us to sit on our ass. I don't know what's going to happen. But that's all I got for you. That's all the Slick One has got for you. Of course, we are streaming on all the major platforms. Don't forget to tell your idiot friends, hey, I'm still out there. I'm still alive here in South Buffalo at Typhoid Studios overlooking the telephone pole. You can get us. We're streaming on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, and of course, we originate out of Podbean. And if all else fails, go to slicktom.com. That's all I got for you right now. We will talk again soon. Until then, remain calm, circle the wagons, go Bills, live fast, die old, and of course, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon.
Hail to the king, baby.